Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. Oh, I got blood all over. See that. Hey, Matthew. Two Matthews. Yeah, I think that was from fishing today. I just saw it. I just got in off the boat. Haven't had a chance to take a shower. Just got here in time to see you guys. That's why I look like a mess. Hey, Julio, Lewis, Jeff. So I had a charter today. It was a little breezy, drizzly. We got some barracuda, just a couple. We lost more barracuda to seals today than we landed. We only landed 2. We lost at least 5 to seals. We watched them eat our barracudas, and we only had a couple of shorts. Bass fishing was slow today. The sculpin rock fishing is good for local, but I think it was the low that came in today with the drizzle and all that. I think that kind of made things go down a little bit. Yeah, the seals are really bad. April wants her food, so I'll make her happy. So yeah, the seals were really bad. The weather wasn't that bad, just it was breezy. So my little boat, 15 knot winds aren't that good. Yeah, and the full moon kind of makes the wind comes up sometime like that. So that's how it was. But that's about it. I mean, nothing too exciting. Some of the boats that were at the horseshoe with us early took off and went to Catalina. And I haven't seen the fish reports and see how they did. The yellows have been at Catalina. I don't know if they bit today. Like I said, I just got home, so I haven't checked any of the fish reports. Let me see if I can check one while we're on the phone here, or while we're on YouTube. Let's see. Yeah, none of the boats out of Long Beach caught a yellowtail today. And that's Long Beach Sport Fishing. Pier Point hasn't reported yet. But yeah, it wasn't that good. And the one barracuda that the 2 barracuda we did land today that were legal, we got to the boat, were caught on magic metal light jigs. So that's cool. Magic metal lights. Yeah. And like this one here. Except on the MM7, not the MM5. Same color, green and yellow. And that's what they ate. I think one was a green and yellow, one was a blue and white. But that's what we got them on today. Yeah, Matthew, the Aloha, where's that? Channel Islands, probably? Where they got theirs? Yeah, Channel Islands. Have I tipped over in my boat? No. Isaiah, the Triton's a really nice boat. It's nicer when you can use the bunk room. That's one of the things that's nice about it. You can use the bunk room and go in there and lay down and sleep on the ride over to the island. They're not letting you do it now. The bunk room is totally closed off because of the virus, so nobody can go in the bunk room. But they do let some people in the galley, and they're actually telling people that they can bring a chair and sit on the deck. So you might want to do that too. Bring a little folding chair, so when you're on the Triton, you can sit on it and do that. Kenneth, it depends on time of year. Sometimes there's more white sea bass at the Channel Islands than there is at Catalina. There's been a few at Catalina this month, not a lot, but some white sea bass have been caught. I haven't heard of any. I'm sure there's some being caught Channel Islands, but haven't seen that much about it. Jeff, how far out are you guys going for these tuna? Are you going past Clemente? Are you going down toward Mexico? If you're going out of Dana Point, that must have been a long boat ride. And then back to Illinois, 3 hours. Wow. You're going to have a red-eye flight tonight? Jason, we had a charter today, private charter, and wasn't the best weather. Yeah, the fish were there. We had a bunch of fish on the meter, but we just didn't get them to bite. It was really weird. I mean, you would bring the bait in with all kinds of teeth marks all over it from the fish, and they just wouldn't eat them. I don't know if it was because today's a full moon and yesterday was almost a full moon and they ate a lot at night. I don't know exactly what happened, but they just were not that hungry today. Yeah, there's you guys keep asking about yellowtail Catalina. There's definitely yellowtail at Catalina. And I know some of the Channel Island boats are getting yellowtail too. So both islands would be good for yellowtail, which is kind of rare because it's not too often that they're biting, Coronados, San Clemente, Catalina, and the Channel Islands all at the same time. The big counts on the yellowtail, the boats out of Dana and stuff, have been at San Clemente Island. I don't know how they did today, but let me see if I can see on the count. Dana Wharf didn't have one yellowtail today. It was all rockfish and a few calico bass. And Davies had 7 yellowtail. So I don't know if they went to Clemente or Catalina. Mm-hmm. And see, Hook's Landing's running now. That's good. Channel Islands. They had 2 white sea bass today. Channel Islands sport fishing. Mm-hmm. Ventura had 1 yellowtail. No white sea bass. Sea Landing had 77 lingcod. That's really good. 77 lingcod. And almost 400 rockfish. So that's good fishing. So that's good. That's her last bone for today. So you fish the 230 area. So the 230, is that south? I mean, is that in Mexican waters or is that U.S. waters? I'm not sure where the 230 area is. Is it behind Clemente? When you're fishing the flyers, are you fishing them on a kite or a balloon? How are you fishing those? What website do I use to check conditions? I use NOAA pretty much. I just Google weather forecast, and that's what I use. Let me see if I can find a link for you guys. Marine forecast. Yeah, and it's tricky because there's a bunch of different ones. You got to get the one that shows you the map. Okay, so here's one here. So I'm gonna give you Catalina Island. So here's the forecast for Catalina Island. So Sunday, 10 to 15 knots to 20 knots in the morning. Gusts as high as 30. I'm glad I'm not going there. So here's a link you guys can use for that if you don't know where to check marine forecasts. Yeah, Derek, I would call and make sure. April, I got no more. I have no more treats for you. Sorry. She's being demanding today. I guess she's mad because I was out at sea all day today. She was all alone. Come on. But yeah, I would call the landing to make sure the trip's running. That weather report for Sunday looks bad. Gusts 30 to 40 knots. Not good. Lewis, we have spots for this Wednesday. The weather looks good for Wednesday. Let me check it again. Well, they only have till Tuesday night here. But on the regular newscast, they said it was going to be in the 90s in LA on Wednesday. So it looked like it was going to be good. But yeah, we're going to Catalina on Wednesday. Yeah, if you'd like to join us, we have 2 spots left, and it's $275. It's $100 off if you guys want to join me. And that link is on my website. Let me see if I can find it for you guys. Yeah, after I posted those trips, they pretty much sold out really quick. So that was nice. Appreciate that. Let you guys support me like that. We just did one email blast to our 6,000 followers, and went good. So if anybody wants to go on this trip, it's going to be departing early morning, 7 a.m. on Wednesday, and heading to Catalina Island. Okay, Jeff, so you're fishing in Mexico. Hey, Chris. Yeah, the San Diego boats haven't been allowed to run yet, so I don't know when they're going to be fishing Guadalupe. Why don't you join me in the East Cape? I'll be there July 30th through August 3rd. I bought my ticket yesterday. LAX to Cabo, you guys. $249 round trip. $249 on American. I think I heard to go out of a TJ, it was like $100, $150 round trip. I couldn't believe that. So if you want to join me, call our office and let's book a room for you, and you can join me on that. I didn't realize how bad my arm looks. I gotta fix that. Yeah, it's pretty bad, Jeff. We had 20 knot winds today on our charter, and I'm supposed to have a trip for tomorrow, and the people canceled because of the protests in Long Beach. They were afraid that something bad might happen, like I did 2 weeks ago. But or was it a week ago? But now everything's okay. Come here. She must be hoping to have more treats because she doesn't hang out in here. San Diego just got the word that they're allowed to run. I saw something last night saying that they were close. That's cool. All right, that's good news. So I hope the San Diego Health Department lets them run. That's going to be the good one. But hopefully that will happen and they'll be able to run. Tyler, yeah, I told everybody earlier it was a little slow. This front that went through really, I don't know if the fish ate last night because of full moon, but we only got 2 legal barracuda. We had 4 eaten by seals. We had 3 or 4 that were short. We had a bunch of sculpin. I think we had 8 or 10 sculpin, and same with rockfish. Plenty of rockfish, but the guys wanted the barracuda, so we tried to get the barracuda. We even hooked a couple. I think were yellows. I mean, they were really hard bites. Took line, but the guys lost them. So it's a good sign for local fishing, the horseshoe, that there's yellowtail around. So I'm excited about that. Jeff LAX to Illinois, $219. Wow. Link to the raffle. Okay, can find that for you. So the raffle's more lures, bucktails, and magic metal jigs. And I left them out in the garage, or I'd show them to you guys. But here's a link to the raffle if anybody's interested. And we'll do it on Monday. There's the raffle link. Yeah, we're gonna have the swap meet if the city lets us in November. November is the plan for the swap meet. So San Diego's going to start on June 14th. That's awesome. I hope that's good. Yeah, Bo, you're happy we're not going fishing this Sunday because it's going to blow. 30 knot winds, 40 knot winds at Catalina. So it's a good thing we have a week for it to settle down. And then the other thing I need to let you guys know is I just found out today on my way home that Rosarita still has no permission to open up the beaches. and they don't know when they're going to get it. They think it might be in a week or two. There's rumors it'll be on Monday the 22nd, but nobody knows for sure. So we're going to have to postpone our surf fishing derby till November. So even if they did open it on June 22nd, we still wouldn't be allowed to have our seminar, our meet and greet, and we don't even know if we'd be allowed to do a award ceremony with everybody there. So it's going to be postponed till November. So everybody that bought a ticket to go to the to go to the surf fishing event will get a notice here next week. So you guys are the first to hear about that. Yeah, Jeff, I agree with you. Especially, 2 days ago they had 70, 80 barracuda locally at the Horseshoe. And today I don't think anybody got that many. Maybe one boat got 10 or 12. It's just, and the seals were bad. The seals were really, really bad, chasing them away. So that's pretty bad. Do you like Abu Garcia reels? I liked them a lot more before when they were an independent company. I don't know what they're like now. I grew up using those reels. That's what I had was a little Abu Garcia spinning reel. I caught everything on a bonita, calico bass, freshwater bass. So the 308 was the little one. Used to love those things. Yeah, Bo, you want to take in your 16-foot aluminum boat today to the shoe. And you definitely will not be taking it this weekend. It's really blowing. Oh, this was today on the boat. So I don't know how I just cut it there. I didn't even notice it. I just noticed it right now because I was on camera looking at this and it showed it. So I just came straight from my boat here and just changed shirts really quick. So I just have to clean it off. It's nothing. Jose, the tournament has been postponed for Rosarito. The tournament has been postponed until November. The little tournament, the friendly tournament that we do in the East Cape, we have plenty of room if you'd like to join us on that one. And that starts on July 30th, ends August 3rd. It's a 5 days, 5 days, 4 nights, 2 days fishing as part of the package. It's $780 per person, and that's based on 2 people to a room, 4 people on a boat. So you could pay a little bit more and just have 2 people on a boat. You could pay less and put 4 people in a room. So just what you want to do. But it's a really gorgeous resort. We'll be at Palmas. And maybe Jeff, you can join me if you're in town that week. But we'll be down out of Palmas, down the East Cape. Beautiful, beautiful resort. Great fishing, good marlin fishing, tuna fishing. Sometimes we catch wahoo, dorado, amberjack. I love fishing for rooster fish, so I do that too down there. So it's a lot of fun. So you guys got to join me. It's a lot of fun. We have plenty of room available. I like that, Julio. That's good. Yeah, the full moon can change a lot of things. Let's see what other questions are going on. Matthew, I don't know. I've never tried shrimp on a bucktail. I've used squid. I think shrimp would work, but I've never tried it. Yeah, Jeff, I don't know what you can use on seals. I've been told you can't even yell at them. We had a problem with the seal one time where we couldn't even get off the dock. We couldn't leave the boat because there was a seal not letting us leave the dock, not leave the boat to get on the dock. So we called Harbor Patrol, and they just told us they couldn't do anything, that they're not even allowed to yell at them. So, yeah, Jeff, I have two little tournaments. The one in the East Cape we do every year. I've been doing it for like 30 years down there. We go to different hotels, and this year we're back at Palmas, and that one is it's 100 miles north of Cabo, by 80 miles north of Cabo, and it's called the East Cape. Great fishing, just fabulous fishing because you're 100 miles up the tip of Baja. The water's flat, calm, so you have 100 miles of land blocking the Pacific Ocean. Sea of Cortez is nice and calm, and it's really really good fishing. And roosterfish, tuna, dorado, marlin, sailfish, blue marlin. We have an episode running. I think it's the week before Father's Day, next week or week after, and maybe it's next week. We catch a lot of marlin. I catch a nice blue, I think like 300-pounder, and then a bunch of little stripers, and you can see how good we do. But it was really good fishing last season. So it's been good. The last couple of trips have been better marlin fishing than we had 10 years ago. So that's good. Hello, Angel. Would I take my family to the East Cape? Yeah, my family goes with me every year. My parents have been going with me down there 30 years, maybe 25 years. Yeah. I sent my parents for their 25th wedding anniversary to La Paz to go fishing. I didn't think they were going to like it, but they loved it. And now they go with me on all my trips every year. So, yeah, so we have the big event is the East Cape trip, you know, on a normal year, we'll have like 40 people. Most we've ever had, I think, was 65 people join me down there. This year with the virus and stuff, maybe 25, 30 people. But we make it a fun little tournament, and we give away some prizes, so it's a lot of fun. The East Cape is just like here. Tuna fishing is the same, live bait or chunk bait, and the rooster fishing is slow troll live bait along the beach, but we don't have rooster fish here. And then the bill fishing is the same as here, trolling lures. Over there, they troll a lot of ballyhoo, and it's pretty good fishing. No, it's not Loretto. This is the East Cape. It's about 80 miles north of Cabo San Lucas. It's called the East Cape because it's located between Cabo San Lucas and La Paz, and it's really good fishing there. And everything's probably about, I don't know, 40-50% cheaper than Cabo. I like it because it's more of the Mexico style. It's more quieter, more laid back than Cabo. There's no big clubs there. It's all about fishing and relaxing. Lots of good restaurants. Lewis, for the East Cape, all the tackle is provided. All the tackle is provided on the boats at no charge. You can use all their rods and reels. You don't have to rent anything. It's all provided. I bring down my own reels. I bring down my own leaders. I bring hooks with me and stuff, but you don't have to. Everything is there. Yeah, I agree with Jeff. It's very safe there. If you guys have never ever been down there, it's very very safe. Yeah, Bo, the whole family can join us on either trip, either Rosarito or the East Cape. It doesn't matter if you're the only person fishing. If you want to come to the East Cape, we can put you on a boat with some other people, or like Rosarito, the whole family can stay in a room, and then you can just fish if you want. The whole family doesn't have to fish. It's not mandatory. It's just the hotel's given a nice discount on the room for people going down to fish the tournament. I think it's like $50 off a night, so it's a nice discount on the room. And the East Cape thing is really nice. So if you've never been to Mexico and you're worried about, the hotel playing games about how much you owe and all that, you go with us. I take all your receipts that you paid, and that way there's no questions about your bill, and it makes it really nice and convenient and safe. So give us a call. We'd love to have you join us. Again, it's July 30th through August 3rd. Let's see. No, Julio, we make all the arrangements. We get the boats, the rooms, all that. We arrange your ground transportation. All you do is call our office. I think it's $250 deposit per person to save the room, and then you just pay it off before the trip. It's it's really good. Yeah, Mexico is safe. I mean, I go down there every year. Haven't had any trouble. I mean, you can get in trouble here in Long Beach. Just depends what you're doing. So, but I think it's very safe for the whole family, especially the resorts. I mean, the resorts down there, they're well protected, and they're all the Van Warmers have been there forever. So that's a great place. Yeah, bring her down with you, Julio. It's a beautiful resort for the family. Beautiful pool, everything. It's really nice, and the food is good. Food's great down there. I mean, the resort has great food, and we don't put food in the package because there's so many restaurants down there that people normally like to leave the resort and go try the different restaurants. So we just don't include the price of the food because I would always feel bad whenever we would prepay their meals, and then they'd end up eating at the different restaurants in town and not using their meals. So we just decided not to do that, make the package a little bit cheaper, and then go eat wherever they want. You can go have dollar tacos for dinner you want, or you can go have a $50 dinner at a really nice hotel or restaurant in town, or you stay right there at the resort and spend $12 and get a nice dinner. So it doesn't matter. It's all available there. Yeah, Matthew, I know what you mean. It's fun catching white sea bass. Malvin, check the weather before you go out tomorrow. I know you guys are used to bad weather up there, but it's raining here in LA. And it's raining here in Long Beach right now. Not heavy, but it's raining. So I'm sure the weather's worse up there. So I would check it before you go out. Yeah, Jose, I agree with you. Tyler, no, you don't have a problem with sea lions there. I think there's so many big sharks there that sea lions aren't an issue. Like I've never lost a Dorado to a sea lion. Never lost a tuna to sea lion. I have lost a couple of tuna to hammerhead sharks, but nothing like the sea lion problem we have here. Matthew, you've never caught a white sea bass? Wow. I think my best year I caught 8 or 10. I remember. So the question is, what's the worst conditions that I've been out and seeing? It was actually for the TV show. Um, like the first year, I think it was like episode 3 or 4 that we'd filmed. We went out of Cabo, and we went out 2 days after a hurricane, and we didn't have a choice. We had to go because I had to pay for everything for that because the TV show wasn't on the air yet. Nobody knew who I was, so I couldn't get any deals from the boats or landings or hotels. So I had to pay for all that. And even though it was 2 days after hurricane, we couldn't reschedule anything. And I was in 20-foot seas catching marlin. And the first marlin I caught, they gaffed it above my head. That's how bad the seas were, above my head, and drug it into the boat. So that was a different experience. And right after that, my camera crew guys sat me down and made it very clear that we will never ever do that again. It was pretty scary. I mean, even the captain finally gave up. The conditions were so bad we almost flipped over the boat over a wave. So we made it back. Then I've been to Guadalupe Island a couple times where it was blowing so bad that we couldn't even hold the anchor down, and we had to leave the island and come all the way back to 20 hours to mainland because it was so bad. Um, Joe, $1,000 would cover my 5-day trip. The package is like $780, and then whatever you need for tips, drinks, and meals and stuff that would easily cover it. And then airfare, and like I said, right now, airfare from LAX to Cabo is only $240, $249. It's really really cheap. And if you want to fly out of TJ, it's even cheaper. Yeah, Derek today was kind of slow. The low front that came in today really pushed the fish down. They were there. We were hooking them, but we just ended up having lots of problems with the seals. We lost more barracuda to the seals than we landed. No, the Triton trip did happen. We filmed it. It'll be on TV. We hooked 10 yellowtail on that trip, and we only landed one. They were big fish. They're all over 20 pounds. We hooked some that were around 30. I think the one we landed was about 25 pounds, maybe a little bit bigger. So it was good. Rick, so you're asking, what does pelagic mean? Pelagic means a fish that doesn't live in one spot. So, like tuna will travel from, you know, Asia basically, all through the Pacific Ocean, all the way to California and back. So that's a pelagic. Marlin travel a big distance. Um, All those kind of fish that travel thousands of miles, those are pelagics. Do I use a jig stick? Sometimes. When I was young, I would use a 10-foot jig stick. Now I use a 9-foot jig stick, but I don't do that too often. But I do use them. Today I hooked one of the barracudas, and I was just using one of those 8-foot California rods with the Okuma reel and the Magic Metal light jig, and I hooked one today. Handed it off, and the guy landed it, so that was good. John, it looks like San Diego's going to open. What the guys were saying, that the governor okayed it, and now it's just up to the health department for San Diego to allow the boats to run. But everybody was assuming the governor was a big hurdle. But I don't know if it's the governor or if it's going to be the health officials now. But that's what it's looking like. What pound tests? The boats are telling you to use 20-pound tests, 20-pound test fluorocarbon to get bit. But the fish that we did land was caught on 25-pound test fluorocarbon. Tony was using 25-pound tests. So if you can get bit on 25-pound tests, I would use that instead. But you might have to use 20-pound tests to get bit. And we were using small hooks. We were using like a size 2 hook. But it worked out good. Yeah, Jeff, the flights out of TJ aren't bad, especially if you use the bridge. So you park on the San Diego side, you pay the $30 for the round trip, and you just walk over the bridge right into the airport, and you do customs there, and you don't have to drive back and spend 3 hours at the border to drive back. I did that a couple of times where I spent more time at the border in line than I did in the flight. So taking that bridge across is really nice. So the question is about the Humboldt squid. I think it's mainly because the water temperature. I mean, I know nobody believes in global warming, but I talked to the guys from Deadliest Catch, a couple of guys that I know that are on there, some of the skippers, and they tell me that they swear there's global warming, that the waters that they fish up there in Alaska are warmer than they've ever been. They're seeing more ice than they've ever seen, and they're getting worse storms. And they say it's because of the global warming. So I don't know. I didn't know that, Matthew. That's pretty cool. I didn't know the rockfish traveled that far. Lewis, you got to go fishing more often if you can't catch a white sea bass. You just got to go fishing more often. Use a bucktail with the squid on it. Bounce it on the bottom, and you'll catch white sea bass. And you'll be surprised how many halibut you'll catch doing that too. I've caught some of my best halibut fishing for white sea bass, and then ending up catching 30-pound halibuts and 40-pound halibuts trying to catch a white sea bass. So Jose, are you talking about a kelp patty like tuna fishing, or are you talking about a kelp bed? Because on a kelp patty, lots of times the skipper will say, here's a big kelp patty, let's go fish it. So the guys will go up to the bow and they'll start throwing jigs before the boat stops. But a kelp bed, um, normally I'm more likely, okay, yeah, kelp patty. Yeah, usually the guys are throwing jigs before they get to the kelp patty, hoping that there's fish there. Sometimes, if the boat has sonar and side scanning sonar, the skipper will know. He'll say, 100 feet in front of us, 200 feet in front of us, there's tuna there. So, throw your jigs at it. But lots of times they don't know. They just see a big kelp patty and they'll throw them. But yeah, we're not always throwing because we see stuff on the meter. But at the San Diego boats with that side scanning sonar, they can often see the fish in the sonar in the gear way before you pull up on it. Yeah, Derek. The wind for Catalina for this Sunday, 30 to 40 knot gusts. So yeah, I wouldn't even think about going. I had some guys that wanted to book me to go on Sunday, and once I gave them the weather forecast, they said forget it. They would wait a couple weeks. So I said okay. But I am going to go on Wednesday. If anybody wants to join me, I still have room for 2 people. And we need one more person to sign up so we can go. So hopefully one of you guys can join me, and we will go. Catalina, look for yellowtail. JB, what size bucktail? I like the 6 ounce. I use a 6 ounce bucktail, mainly this one, glow in the dark, and I put a large AA single tail on it, and just work that on the bottom. Sometimes I'll put squid on it too, and that's what I catch most of mine on. And then I also, for jigs, I use a magic metal jig, and that works out good too. But the bucktail, I like to use that 6 ounce B52 bucktail on the bottom for the lingcod. Matthew, I got to get you some of those bucktails so you can use them and get me pictures. Next weekend, I have charters. I have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday and Saturday is a family from Northern Cal. I think one day is Catalina, one day is local, and then the trip on Sunday is a half-day trip. So that's the plan for next week, and then hopefully Wednesday we'll get out. Like I said, I only need one more person, and then we're going to go to Catalina. Okay, let me find you guys the link for that since you're asking. So we have 2 spots available for Wednesday, and it's $100 off. So it's only $275. And here's the link to join me to go to Catalina on Wednesday. So the storm weather should be done with by then, and hopefully we'll have better weather and everything will be good. What's a good way to cook yellowtail? You can put in the oven, barbecue it. The only thing you don't want to do with yellowtail is deep fry it. Like tuna and yellowtail, you shouldn't deep fry it like fish and chips or anything like that. But it comes out really good. Barbecue it. I don't know if you guys have ever done this, but I like to make kebabs out of fish. I'll take different fish that I have in my freezer, maybe some white sea bass, some halibut, calico bass, salmon, depending how the season goes. And when I cut the fish up, I'll keep some of the scraps and I'll make kebabs and throw them on the barbecue. Like different fish, those come out really good. And it's really nice because you get a couple of bites of different fish so you can taste them next to one another. And, I'll put tuna with yellowtail. Sometimes I have dorado. Sometimes I have white sea bass. Sometimes I have halibut. And put all that stuff together in a kebab with some vegetables. And it's super delicious. Really, really good. So, I never had poke out of yellowtail, Kevin. That's what I normally do with the skipjack. Yeah, ceviche is good too. Yeah, all my half day trips are local, Bo. All the half day trips are local. Yes. Yeah, you really can't mess up grilling a fish. You want to just put some oil on the grill before you put the fish down so it doesn't stick to it, and put some light, olive oil on the fish too. That way it doesn't stick to it while you're cooking it, but it's really good. The calico bass fishing's been really good. We caught over 50 last Friday, a week ago today, and we went to the same spots today, and we saw clouds of fish, but they just wouldn't eat. They'd pick up our live bait, they chew on them, but they wouldn't swallow them. So I don't know if it was the combination of the front that came through, the full moon. It was just really bad. Tyler, you got to go fishing more. You should always have some fish in the freezer. Kyle, to answer your question about a 5 day trip, normally I would say no, that you won't need all that gear. But a 5 day trip now, like last year, you may not go very far. I mean, hopefully you'll end up at Guadalupe, but I don't think the Red Rooster goes to Guadalupe. You might just end up fishing San Clemente Island for all that. And that would be, um, for the big tuna. So you might want to ask them where they're going to go because only a few boats have permits to run to Guadalupe Island. So, like I said, guys, I do have a couple of spots left for Wednesday. So, if any of you can join me, come with me. That would be good. Matthew, your dad's been captain of a few boats. So, that's cool. That must have been nice. I mean, growing up having your father as a well known skipper, captain. That's cool. You're lucky, Matthew. I mean, my parents introduced me to fishing, but they never been on a sport boat. They'd never been on a sport boat, and they'd never been fishing in Mexico till I took them. They'd never been to Europe till I took them. Well, there's quite a few places they've never been till I took them. So that's cool. I'm glad they like going down to Mexico and fishing down there. Even my mom goes, and they're both in their 80s, and they both go fish with me in the East Cape, and they both go on the boat with me for one day. So In the old days, my dad would go like 2 or 3 days with me. Now 1 day's good for him. He likes to hang out by the pool and relax. Matt, no, it's not really worth it to stop at every kelp patty. If you see a bigger kelp patty when you're close to the island, like, say 3 miles or 5 miles from the island, then I would drive by and take a look. Like if it's later in the season, August, September, there might be Dorado under it. You never know. Yellowtail under it. But you don't need to stop by every little cow patty. I mean, I'll drive by them. I'll look, and I'll have my fish finder on and see if I see anything. But um, I don't normally stop every kelp patty. I will look and see if there's some there. I think Jeff will tell you if you looked at some kelp patties right now, you'll probably find 2 pound yellowtail on them. I mean, there's little tiny yellowtails there. So, but in the right time of year, you can get some nice yellowtail, and sometimes you'll get lucky and find tuna. And occasionally we've seen Dorado on them. I mean, my best Dorado fishing um, around Catalina has come from kelp patties. So that's pretty good. All right, guys. So it's been an hour. I've been up since 4 o'clock, so I'm kind of tired today. So I'm going to take off and go. Call it a night. Again, if any of you would like to join me on Wednesday's trip, here's the link. Please sign up and join me. I need one more person so we can get the trip in. Matthew, please say hi to your parents and tell them thank you. Tell your dad thank you for me for being on here with me, and that would be cool. Kevin, what's on my bucket list of fish I haven't caught? I don't know. Maybe a freshwater Dorado. One of the fish down South America. I've caught peacock bass, but I've never caught a big one like a 15 pounder. I don't know. It's probably a few fish I want to catch. For the longest time, it was tarpon, but I've caught quite a few of those now. So, all right, guys. Good night. Talk to you later. Thank you. And talk to you soon. We'll meet you here on Monday. Bye, everybody.